Why waiting is a blessing. Have you ever felt like God is taking too long? You've been praying, waiting, and trusting, but nothing's happening. And deep down, you're wondering, did God forget about me? Most Christians don't realize this. Waiting isn't a punishment. It's preparation. Let me explain why God's timing is not just better than yours, it's actually a blessing in disguise. Let's go back to the story of Joseph. Joseph had dreams, big ones. He saw visions of greatness. But instead of rising immediately, he was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, and later falsely accused and thrown into prison. He waited 13 years between the promise and the promotion. Imagine what that felt like, being faithful, yet forgotten. But here's the truth, God was never late. In that prison cell, God was preparing Joseph for the palace, developing his character, humbling his heart, teaching him to lead before giving him a kingdom. So if you're in a waiting season, you're not alone and you're not abandoned. You're in training. Let's talk about why God delays answers and what that means for your life. 1. God's delays are not denials. Just because it's not happening now doesn't mean it's never going to happen. Sometimes, what feels like silence is really a setup. Isaiah 60 verse 22 says, "At the right time, the Lord, will make it happen." God works in Kairos time, divine timing. He's not rushed by your schedule. He's guided by what's best for your destiny. 2. Waiting builds faith and endurance. Romans 5 verses 3 to 4 says, "Suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope." You don't grow strong on the mountaintop. You grow in the valley. You grow when your only option is to trust God even when you don't understand Him. Waiting reveals whether your faith is in God's gifts or in God Himself. 3. Preparation always comes before promotion. David was anointed king, but returned to tending sheep before ever touching the throne. Why? Because the crown comes after the cave. God is not just preparing your blessing, He's preparing you for the blessing. If He gave it to you too early, it might crush you. But in His timing, it will bless you and others through you. 4. God has a purpose for every season. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 says, "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven." The waiting season has a purpose. Maybe God's protecting you from something you can't see. Maybe He's aligning things in your favor behind the scenes. Maybe He's spreading the wrong relationships so the right ones can grow. But He's not doing nothing. 5. Trust is the foundation of peace. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." Trust doesn't require answers. It just requires faith. You don't have to understand everything God is doing. You just need to trust that He's